This is Architecture at Fannie Mae. Architecture at Fannie Mae is a collective effort of 4 architecture groups: business, enterprise, data, and security. We're linked together using an innovative end-to-end methodology that's compliant to our policies and standards and relies on our creative problem solving when we build new or enhance business capabilities to help make Fannie Mae America's leading housing partner. To explain how we apply architecture at Fannie Mae, we'll compare it to how different areas of expertise are used when designing a city. Area number 1, business architecture. Business architecture, or BA, captures how business processes are performed today and where the business is driving the needs of the future. When a process needs to be changed, BA defines what activities, conceptual data, states, events, and capabilities need to change in order to be successful. In our city analogy, BA would define where the people will live, work, and what tasks they'll perform to make the city a success. BA would determine whether this would be an artistic city with 40% of its land for museums or an entertainment-focused city that attracts tourists. In other words, what we do and the evolution of what we'll do in the future is the main focus of BA. To ensure each of our 4 architecture groups drive in the same direction on a new concept from the business, we created a cross-functioning body called the Integrated Design Authority, or IDA. IDA performs a review at the earliest stages of a program, when the program is really only an idea or a concept. We call this the ideation phase review, and it helps ensure our corporate goals and principles are followed successfully. IDA is a roundtable forum with representation of leadership from each architecture group, where decisions are made collectively. In our city, this would be the original dot on the map, with the right amount of land, water, climate, and the initial zoning plans for museums, parks, and the industrial or housing areas. Our second area is enterprise architecture. EA contains a few different areas of focus to meet special challenges we encounter in the technology world. Portfolio architects, or PAs, are the key points of contact to manage the technology blueprints, designs, and roadmaps for a line of business. In a city, the PA would be responsible for developing a neighborhood or a business district. The PA carries the responsibility for an entire project on his shoulders, but works with the BA to understand the city's plan. Together, they define if a neighborhood will be close enough to the businesses, shopping, and schools that support it. At Fannie Mae, PAs support our financial portfolios like multifamily, single-family front-end, and corporate systems. To design a specific system or building in this example, we look at our solution architects who work for the PAs. Infrastructure architects help with the design to make sure the right foundation is included, depending on if we're expecting a house or a skyscraper, a simple system, or one for everyone. As you can imagine, when a system is designed for a portfolio, it uses a blueprint, much like a building would for a city. Blueprints are reviewed to ensure they're up to building code, and we do ours at our design working group. Our building code comes from our policies and standards, and we have ours centrally located in a list we call our non-functional requirements framework. This means before we start construction on our city, we'll want a certain amount of roads, a minimum amount of water for everyone, backup power grids for resiliency, or borders that define our city limits. Architecture is an art and science, but at Fannie Mae, we don't start from scratch on each design. Patterns, reference blueprints, and other documents are used as building blocks to speed up the design process and remain compliant to our own building code. We keep these documents in an online library we call the Pattern Repository. To build a city effectively, we'll use a certain building materials list to find which nails, hammers, wood, or cement can be used to build everything with. Ours is called our Technology Reference Model. If the city needed tanks to ward off looming asteroids or needed faster ambulances for its emergencies, they'd be approved through the city's review process and shown on its building materials list, or its TRM. A key method for our architecture at Fannie Mae is using service-oriented architecture, or SOA. When a city is being designed, it will need to utilize services that an entire city will benefit from, like a postal service. Without one way to send and receive mail, using the same way to address an envelope and mail routes through our city, one can imagine how costly and confusing the service could be if throughout our city mail came and went in every way imaginable. The third area is data architecture. Data architecture helps define aspects for the system, or where the system may get or store its data. IT systems do one thing. They take data in, do something with it, and send data out. Data can be a birthday, a number, a report of a billion numbers, or just about anything. Organizing where it comes from, how it's defined, and where it goes is a specific art and science in and of itself. For our city, the data architect would be who designs the flow of traffic, which side for cars to drive on, which streets are one-way only, or the entrances and exits of our city. Without the consistency of standard data, manual rework and corrections are often required, which cost time and money. Think of a city without any street signs, and how much time people would spend in the city driving around trying to find the post office. Our fourth area is security architecture. Security ensures the system's security is built to manage who has access and if they should, how it's designed to protect the operations and data that's sent or collected by the system. In our city, security architecture keeps us safe by designing the police stations, the alarm systems for the banks, and make sure the city's plugged into NASA's warning service should an asteroid head straight for our city. So recap. Having the right plan, structure, patterns, and principles is the strength and foundation of our architecture at Fannie Mae, which is critical for us as we build a stronger, safer, and more efficient housing finance system.